So I heard someone saying they're talking about Solomon's circle. They said the triangle is for summoning demons to bind demons. That's what you're already in. You're already in the yod, which is 666. If you look up the yod, the finger of God, pointing at you right now. I'm telling you this, buddy. There's that's kind of what we live in. Is this 666, this yod, this triangle. There's a circle on top of the triangle. We're already inside of this thing. So if you make a Solomon circle and you bind demons into a secondary circle, like a drawing, an image of an image, then that you're binding demons again. You're binding them into this triangle. They're missing the whole, you're blinding them. They're missing the whole point of this Solomon circle thing. So they get focused on the paper, then the teacher knows, oh, they don't know. Or, the person overseeing, they get this, it gets its marks out backwards. So they would know, oh, this student doesn't know that. Now they don't have to say anything. They can just keep that in their mind. They don't have to judge or set anyone up or anything like that. The work has been already done by this sigil. A lot of what we live in is sigils. The Constitution to me is really just a sigil. There's ways you can bypass the Constitution, but I'm not going to mention any of the ways. It's not that hard, actually. We're probably doing some of it right now. So, and that's kind of what the Constitution is it. And, as far as I know, they've been fighting about this for years. This, which is it. And you can actually get people so... This is what happens. The more God shows himself as the omnipresence, we'll go around and narrate it or whatever. But by the end, it will be the beast. And God will be like waving whoever goodbye, in a time when God does these kind of things. And by the time we see God, it will be too late. He would have given us too many chances. That's and a lot of people like sitting there milking it like it's a fucking calf. But it's God's power. You don't want to sit there and keep tempting it. Because the fucking dragon will come out of that thing. Trust me on that. So the yod is 666. We're in a triangle. It's a circle above the triangle. People will actually fight about it to the point that they'll get a broken yod, which is the top of the pyramid. They want the top spot. That's what Adolf Hitler's problem was. He got a broken yod, a golden yod. He wanted the gold, but we're only here to get the silver. The gold doesn't belong to us. Not like that. If anything, it would belong to a female, because at the top, to get to the gold, is the spider. You got to go through the spider and everything else. And that's actually what people call Kali and all that. You can summon all these things. You're summoning all these things when you have the laws and the truths that I outline in my book. The great work. The great work. So if you get the book, The Grimoire of Shiva, on Amazon.com, it will tell you more about that. Then you have the law, the foundation. Then you'll be able to work the other elementals and things on the foundation. It's a lot to explain, but say like wonderful is a elemental. People chase around this wonderful. But when you have a platform and foundation, you don't let the elementals will you around. You will them around. Isn't that wonderful? So then people they'll go looking for wonderful. Now don't go looking for wonderful. That's not what we're doing here. We're just noticing that all this stuff is in play around us. If you can map it in your mind. And that's kind of what the yod is that it's all about creativity. So I poured out the yod a while ago. Shit posting, art, comics, movies. They built Hollywood out of this freaking thing. So, and there's nothing to do with Satanists. You gotta run middle path. You can't be like, that's evil. There has to be a middle path between the right and the left. You have to use both hands. But you're not letting the left, which is the power path and the ego, let the right hand know what it's doing. So you're not filling your ego. Else you'll break your head, kid. Just shoot your eye out. For the yod, the golden yod, which was like the master race. So people get all this Nazism, they're supercharged. They get supercharged up about these top states of this, the pinnacles, the top of the pyramid. And that's where the circle traps you. So you want to stay away from trying to do that. That'll actually make you go mad too, like make you go into madness or whatever. And you can see that on the left-hand path. You know, it's there. On the left-hand path, depending, you know, you have to look at things differently. The left-hand path will be really clingy to it. They'll have a lot of ego about it, possession. They'll be possessed by it. And for them, it'll be mark of the beast in their forehead. It'll turn to mark of the beast. Unless we do the law and we start cleaning things up. Back to the root and cleaning up the roots. Cleaning up the vineyard, the branches, all that stuff. So that was my thought there on Solomon's Circle and the yod. And you can check out Wiki, the yod. Yod A, Yoda. So that's where Yoda gets yod A from, I do believe. And like I said, it's all backwards. That's why you have Yoda talking backwards. So that's one of the symbolic things in Star Wars, the Jedi. And if there's anything else I'm missing, I'm not sure, but you can work this triangle too. You'll hear the music industries talk about the triangle, the Triforce power. You know, the Triforce, so it'd be 12, right? Use the force. You would have 12, 3, 6, 9. Go into the numbers. So you're using like a rainbow of things. Numbers, math, symbols, sigils, to create something that's of a force. It draws people in. Something like a black hole that draws attention. That's kind of what it does. And, you know, I'm sure you can, in your own way too, follow along in all that I'm saying here, and you know, see more of what the triangle ties into for you. Vance, leave it. Go boy. So you go boy. So go boy. So you can follow along in your own way. I'm not telling you everything. I'm not giving you some new religion to have, thing like that. I'm just putting some stuff out there we can follow along. Then you're able to check on what people are doing out there. If you're spreading this information, now I'm going to be looking out. I'll be able to take a measure like the ethos, the cultural thermometer, be able to see who's doing what. And that's kind of how the cultures are built. They're oversaw it, you know, by people that know more than I do, obviously. So that's just my thoughts here. Thanks. Till next time.